Parmy Olson's Supremacy is a sweeping exploration of the global race to dominate artificial intelligence, and how companies like OpenAI, Google DeepMind, and Anthropic are shaping a new era of human history. Olson, a seasoned tech journalist, brings her investigative skill and sharp analysis to unpack not just the technical breakthroughs, but also the human ambitions and rivalries fueling this AI revolution. The book is framed around key players such as Sam Altman and Demis Hassabis, giving readers a front-row seat to the drama of Silicon Valley and beyond. The book begins with a stark framing: AI supremacy is no longer a sci-fi trope but a geopolitical and economic goal. Olson outlines how generative AI, especially models like ChatGPT, have crossed the threshold from being mere tools to becoming strategic assets. With early access to interviews and insider information, she paints a vivid picture of the pressure tech leaders feel as governments, corporations, and investors race to capitalize on the potential of these systems. A large portion of the first chapters is dedicated to OpenAI's origin story. Olson recounts how Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and other co-founders created the organization with utopian ideals about safety and openness. However, she quickly pivots to how those ideals began to erode as financial stakes increased. The evolution from non-profit to capped profit structure reveals a deep tension between ethics and ambition that permeates the AI industry. Olson also dedicates time to Google DeepMind, offering a contrast in culture and strategy. Where OpenAI pursued aggressive publicity and product releases, DeepMind, under Demis Hassabis, maintained a more academic and cautious approach. Yet, both organizations are shown to be caught in the same undertow: a belief that whoever controls the most powerful AI will control the future of the world economy, defense systems, and digital labor markets. The middle of the book tackles the technological challenges that still face AI developers, especially in alignment, interpretability, and reliability. Olson interviews leading researchers who warn of systems hallucinating facts, making biased decisions, or even misleading users. These interviews add scientific weight to the narrative, showing that the race to deploy AI is not matched by a race to understand or control it. Importantly, Olson doesn't shy away from ethics. She discusses AI's potential to worsen inequality, automate surveillance, and destabilize economies. One chapter is devoted to the ethical concerns voiced by internal whistleblowers and philosophers who argue that deploying systems that kind of work but aren't fully safe is a reckless act. She reflects on how tech companies often prioritize scalability over morality. The book explores the rise of global AI competitors. China is given a significant chapter, where Olson explores Baidu, SenseTime, and other players supported by state funding and driven by ambitions of surveillance and control. She highlights how China's approach to AI differs, less constrained by privacy norms, more aligned with state power, and strategically focused on militarization and economic restructuring. Olson then shifts focus to the power centralization happening through these systems. As she writes, AI systems increasingly rely on massive datasets and computational infrastructure that only a few companies possess. This creates a bottleneck in innovation and a concentration of influence that mirrors the oil cartels of the 20th century. She delves into the concept of AI nationalism, where governments begin to regulate, subsidize, and weaponize AI for their own strategic interests. The US, EU, and China all appear as actors in this unfolding geopolitical drama. Olson makes the case that AI is now a domain of competition as vital as space exploration or nuclear weaponry once were. Toward the latter third of the book, Olson returns to OpenAI and focuses on the internal schisms within the company, between safety-focused researchers and product-driven executives. She portrays Sam Altman as a charismatic but complicated leader who walks the tightrope between visionary and capitalist. His decision to release ChatGPT widely is presented as both a gamble and a masterstroke. She dedicates an entire chapter to the public's reception of ChatGPT, from wonder and excitement to confusion and fear. Educators, artists, coders, and marketers all weigh in, creating a mosaic of reactions that shows how AI is not just a technical innovation but a cultural disruptor. Olson reflects on how ChatGPT was, for many people, the first real encounter with something that felt intelligent, even if it wasn't. In discussing the consequences, Olson draws a chilling parallel to the invention of the printing press, democratizing information while destabilizing old orders. She suggests that AI will create both opportunity and chaos, liberating some people from labor while making others redundant. Her analysis of the future of work is sharp, highlighting how society is unprepared for the magnitude of disruption on the horizon. She also explores regulatory attempts to slow or steer AI development. From the EU's AI Act to US executive orders, Olson reviews how governments are scrambling to write rules that can catch up with technology that's evolving too fast. Yet, she remains skeptical about whether any regulation can meaningfully curb the power of a few corporations. The book ends on a speculative but sobering note. Olson imagines scenarios where unchecked AI development leads to collapse, as well as ones where collaborative governance ushers in an era of abundance. She leaves the reader with a challenge: how we handle this moment will determine not just who wins the AI race, but what kind of civilization we become. Supremacy is both a warning and a guide. It doesn't preach doom, but it doesn't flinch from danger. Olson's gift is her ability to synthesize technical detail, political analysis, and human psychology into a fast-paced and deeply researched narrative. The result is a vital book for anyone who wants to understand not just what AI is, but what it means.